So if you're doing a partial renovation of your bathroom and you need to get some tiles, there's a solution for you. So in this case, there was various towel bars in this bathroom. You can see I've got some new tiles in where the toilet roll holder was, and there was a number of like soap holders here, and another towel bar over here. So you can see I've got some tiles here I had to harvest. So in this case, we're putting in a bigger, wider vanity, so it's about 8 inches wider. So I was able to harvest one strip of tiles here. So I've got 5 tiles here. And what I did was I would scratch out the grout with this glazer's bar. So you just like dig it in and scratch it out, and as deep as you could with this. And then using just a putty knife, I would go in further, and where I really needed to save the tiles, what I did was I went right through the drywall and cut out the square where the tile was and yanked out the whole sucker, because it's hard to get them off. You may or may not have success. You can use an oscillating tool and try to get in there, and if you do that, it does work. You have to be careful. If the head of the oscillating tool touches an adjacent tile, it's going to do damage, so watch out for that. And then I still needed more tiles after that, so I just chopped a hole in the bathroom here. And I also wanted to fill in. This used to have like this big escutcheon plate, where there used to be an older style 2-knob faucet for the tub filler. And you really only need a 4x4 square in back behind here. So what I did is I put in new tiles on either side, and then I've got to get a little chiclet to stick in there. Like I said, you can have about a 4x4 mud plate when you're doing new construction. So that's good there. But so the solution for filling in this hole, you say, right? So one, I made sure I didn't end up with any studs. And then I found a niche that would fit the hole. So this is, I think it's a 12 by 30. These are 6-inch tiles. So I went with something that was going up by 6-inch increments. And like you can see with this stud finder, there's a stud right here. With this stud finder, it can give you a good idea where the studs are. And then again, when you're chopping your way through, you'll feel where there's a stud. It may be too late, so you do want to try and find it in advance. And here's another stud here, and we're good. And then also, this is the stairway, and I knew there wasn't going to be anything in the wall as far as wiring goes, or even anchors for the railings, right? You don't want to have any interference. So that was the solution there. And I'll show the oscillating tool quickly. This is kind of my storage for stuff. Yeah, so the oscillating tool here, this head, if you don't stick it in completely flat, it's going to carve into the drywall. You'll have to patch it, but that's just the way it is. So otherwise, I don't think there's anything super useful. For removing the old soap holders, just tapping on them lightly with this was enough to kind of get them to break loose of the drywall. Just have to be patient with the hammer, and eventually you'll knock it off. There's the toilet we're putting in. Gotta glue that down to there. And then when you got your floor up, I do recommend screwing it down like every 3 inches, like either side of each nail, and then again in the middle, and just go to town with screws. Then put on a pair of boots and walk around in the bathroom and see if you feel anything. Because if you're walking around on your regular kind of bare feet, you're not going to feel the floor move underneath of you. But I recommend doing that. So I got to go through here and feel for soft spots with my boots on, and I'll glue them or screw them down. I didn't peel up the floor, but it is an opportunity if you need to cut a hole in the floor and do work underneath and then patch it over again. The tiles, you need to test fit and like identify each tile for each hole, because they've got like some nubs on the edges, and for whatever reason they don't fit necessarily. You might need a diamond file to file the edge of the tiles to make them fit nicely. And so you need like a diamond file, a tile cutter. I use like a wet Ryobi tile saw I bought off of someone from Facebook Marketplace. They used it for 2 backsplashes and I got it for under half price, so I was happy with that. And I got some plumbing stuff here. And just to show you the niche, so it fit, but you probably want it in your hands before you do the final cutting, because the dimensions are not exactly what they say on the advertising, but it worked out super good for me. So you can see there I've got, presumably I could have harvested 10 tiles out of there, but I wasn't that good. You got to be careful. And then I just soaked the drywall and the tile combination in water, just in a sink or in a pail, and separated things from each other and scraped them down. You do need to scrape the tiles down carefully. And then this is a little bit tinny, so you could put something on the back of it and just to really fit it in there nice. This may just be an intermediate kind of thing. I was talking to my friend and he was saying that maybe, like obviously this glass door is not very nice, we're going to replace that. But he said, like, why don't you just pull out the tub and put it in a shower pan? And that seemed like a pretty good idea actually. So the tub flange, if you feel in the wall, it comes up about an inch or so. So it would be kind of hard to get all the tiles out successfully and save them, but maybe you could, but I wouldn't have enough to go down to the floor. So if you get a tub base, or sorry, a shower base, you could get one that comes with walls to put into the location here. Then you can get them with center, left, or right drains, depending on what you want to do. And then you could lift up the plumbing to put it at the correct height. Because right now someone's going to walk in and they're like, what's going on here? Why is there a tub filler here? And why is this faucet so low for a shower? So unsure of what we're going to do there, but we're moving along. This wasn't intended to be like a full retile of this bathroom. This is the first tiling I've ever done in my life, so I'm not really great at it, but I do know that this is working out pretty good. And then there was like a big hole in the wall here in behind the vanity, so I just put in a new patch of drywall. And sorry to whoever finds this in the future, I didn't have quite enough full tiles. I broke a couple too many, but that's going to be okay, because the 40-inch with the backsplash of that vanity is just past here, and that's going to be good. And previously the tile only went about this far, I believe, so I had to tile over to give something for the vanity to go up against and not have to put trim around the vanity to hide any lacking tile. And then I've got plastic trim that's just about 4 inches tall that's going to go around over the bottom tile trim. So I'm not tiling out this bathroom or trying to make it waterproof. It's not really a need for us. We don't have any kids, so there won't be a lot of water on the floor. So I'm comfortable just using like a stone click flooring in here. I did shellac the floor because there was a lot of stains and damage to this floor from the previous occupants. I think they had like 3 kids and they all grew up here. And then I'm going to save my tiles, and then when you pull them off, like you'll see writing on them. Not necessarily on this one. This is like 377, so that's like an original tile. Would have made me like the 3rd month of 1977. But you'll probably see some writing on the back of the tiles, and you might be able to find a box of them if you're super lucky after you peel one off. But I just wanted to share that as an option, just to kind of like a simple updating of a bathroom without going like all the way. Like I know the bull nose is not that nice. I could pop it off and then put on some edging here that looks a bit nicer. That's an option for sure. It would have been nicer if they had gone up one more row for the tile. That way the receptacle would have fit properly. And then I did add another receptacle here. So when I had this out, I brought a circuit down and over and back up here. And then for future lighting, I wasn't sure if I wanted sconces or not. So I also brought the light circuit down to each receptacle box so that I can put in something else in the future. Because like I could get something really big and just cover over this piece of glass and then put lights on either side. I just don't know what we're going to do in the future. But the mirror, unfortunately, the way they installed it is kind of annoying, right? Because you need, again, more tiles to get rid of this mirror because it's got them cut right down the middle for whatever reason. They decided to do that way instead of doing the whole bathroom. I would recommend, if you're going to do a bathroom, to do tile the ceiling as well. That's a pop from one of the trusses. It needed the screw to be removed and then taped over, but we just did some quick hot mud over it temporarily. It's best just to do all the tile everywhere and be done with it rather than trying to save a bit of tile. And I'm not sure how they ended up doing it this way, but I don't think it's necessarily the correct way. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. So the niche is a good solution. You can get you some extra tiles so you can fill in over some stuff and kind of update your bathroom without spending a fortune. So anyway, thanks for watching. So here's the bathroom, about 90% complete now. So I have to put in the towel bars and toilet paper holders and stuff like that. Bathroom has been in use for about a month now. So for the flooring, I used stone click flooring. It's really not appropriate for a bathroom where it's going to be wet a lot, but in here it's fine. I did use the plastic trim. That's the best way to do it because you can use hot glue to put it against the walls, and then you're not using like caulking and waiting for a long period of time for it to stick. And then this is attached to tiles, so that's the way to go. The Fasten Master is a really good like professional glue gun. You could probably use a smaller one, but these ones you can get good glue sticks for them that take a bit of time to cool off. It gives you a bit of working time. So that worked out nice. The shower niche worked out good. We did decide that we're going to rip out the tub, and so I found a really good deal on a shower pan and halo doors from Max. So you can get these, we got these from Habitat for Humanity, the Restore, and it was $400 for this. That's like a $1,600 kit. So definitely check out Habitat from time to time and see what they've got, and you can kind of collect material. And then the shower bars and stuff like that, I bought them new. Moen has like 2 versions of everything. They got the cheap big box store stuff, and then they got the professional stuff that you can get like at a bathroom and kitchen store. I went with the cheap big box store stuff, and you can tell that it's cheaper. It's lighter duty. It's all smaller physically. It's kind of funny that they do that, but that's the route we decided to take. So I just wanted to kind of bring this video home and show you how you can do a bathroom inexpensively. Habitat for Humanity is good. I got the vanity from Wayfair. They're a pain in the butt to deal with. If you're going to buy something from Wayfair, be committed, make your account, go in, buy it same day if it's on sale. If you see something you like, just buy it, because they're just going to keep jacking up the price every time you look at it. For toilets, don't try to save money on toilets. This is a American Standard Cadet Pro. You can get them from like plumbing stores. The Cadet 3 you can get from big box stores, and they're good as well. I needed a 10-inch rough in, so I had to get the Pro to get the 10-inch rough in. They work really good. Get the tall, elongated. You're not going to be sorry for that. That's the proper toilet to purchase. So hopefully you found that video interesting. Thanks for watching.